Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your monthly reading for January. These are general readings, so they may not resonate with all of you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it does resonate, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It is greatly appreciated. At the end of the reading, I'll pull a card from the Rooted Woman Oracle deck for you, so stick around for that. But let's dive right on into it. What is going on with Cancer in January? Alright, this is you. This is what crosses you or your challenge in the month of January. Your conscious energy, unconscious energy, your past, your future, your attitude towards a situation, the energy that surrounds you may not be aware of, hopes and fears, and the possible outcome of the situation. Alrighty, so you've got quite a few major arcana cards here, so possibly a big time for you in January, Cancer. To start it off, for your energy, you get the Fool card. In this deck, it is called the Cozy Witch. So a new beginning, feeling very kind of free, carefree, not really worried about, not really stressed about too much, it seems like, kind of just going with the flow, not really worried about the consequences of your actions, kind of just excited for the new year, excited for, whatever adventures are coming forth. For what crosses you or your challenge, you do get the Ace of Cups. So not sure if this has to do with maybe a relationship or just kind of self-love, fulfillment, getting more in touch with your emotions. For your conscious energy, you do get the Judgment card. So although you are kind of carefree and, not really worried too much, you are aware that your actions do have consequences, and you are kind of having an awakening of some sort that the actions that you've taken in the past have led you to where you are today. But I feel like you're not, with the Fool card and your energy, you're kind of like, whatever is going to happen is going to happen. For your unconscious energy, you get the Queen of Pentacles. So it seems like you are pretty financially secure. Seems like you are kind of a very warm-hearted individual, someone who always has their, door open for other people to, come in, relax. You kind of have like a very easygoing spirit about you. For your past, you get the Emperor card. So in the past, it seemed like you were very strict, very structured, regimented. Things needed to go a certain way, needed to be the leader, needed to be in control in the past. For your future energy, you get the Hanged Man. In this deck, it is called the Patient Witch. So maybe some sort of procrastination going on in the future here, or it's intentional procrastination, trying to view some situation from a different perspective, taking some time to really think things through. For your attitude towards a situation, you get the Hierophant. So thinking a lot about tradition, maybe trying to uphold some sort of tradition, values, focusing on your values and your beliefs, and what traditions you want to create for yourself in your life. For the energy that surrounds you and you may not be aware of, you get the Strength card. So there's a whole lot of bravery, a lot of courage that you're showing. I feel like that ties in with the Fool, kind of being a little bit, maybe taking a little bit more risk than you usually would. Kind of deciding to not let the fear drive your decision, instead kind of pushing forward with hope and, staying focused on the positive outcomes that could come. For your hopes and fears, you get to the Two of Pentacles. So wanting to, seems like you kind of want a lot going on. You want to kind of have your hand in each of the, I don't know how the saying goes. It'll come to me later. Kind of wanting to dibble-dabble in a little bit of everything. At the same time, maybe a little afraid of that, afraid of losing focus, losing sight on one specific thing. For the possible outcome of the situation, you get the Ten of Wands. So, seems like doing a lot is going to ultimately maybe bring a little bit of stress onto you, making things a little bit more difficult on yourself, trying to, juggle so many different things at the same time, thinking that you can do it all and have no consequences for those actions. But let's get into the clarifications. We'll start with the Fool card for your energy for January. Is the Fool here? Why is the Fool card here for Cancer in January? Okay, for the Fool, you get the Queen of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, the Two of Wands. Yeah, so it seems like you definitely have this energy about you. It's kind of like a fiery energy, actually. I don't know if you have fire in your sign, but you're very confident, very self-assured in some sort of new venture that you want to go on, or just kind of like a sense of a new beginning. You're like planning for the future, planning of all the things that you want to do. It feels like you feel like anything is kind of possible at the moment, which is great energy. With the Ace of Pentacles here, there could be some new business ventures coming your way, new business opportunities, new job opportunities, take it as it resonates, new opportunities in love, just kind of a sense of manifesting almost like your own reality. Let's clarify the Ace of Cups. That is the Ace of Cups crossing Cancer in January. Okay. For the Ace of Cups, you get the Nine of Swords, the Devil, the Three of Swords. Oh. So I don't know if this is like underneath with the Fool card here, if there's like a sense of, with the Queen of Wands as well, of like hyper independence, of kind of maybe being a little afraid of getting too close to people, afraid of, depending on somebody for your emotional like satisfaction or happiness. I feel like there are new opportunities in love coming your way, but you're afraid of them, afraid of getting too attached, afraid of maybe becoming too dependent on them. So it feels like you like break your own heart before that love could even bloom, really. Feels like you have been hurt in the past, so you're like, you've got a lot of anxiety about maybe getting close to somebody again. Feels like when you are in a relationship, you really give your all to them, and feel like you're afraid of giving your all to somebody again, or having something end up being like toxic. I don't know if you had a really toxic relationship in the past at one point that really brought you down, and you're just really afraid of that happening again. Let's clarify the Judgment card. It's strange because on the surface with the Fool card, it seems like you are carefree, but like deep down inside there is like a deep fear of love almost. Let's clarify the Judgment card for your conscious energy. Okay, for the Judgment card, you get the Hanged Man, the Fool, the Moon. Interesting. So strange. I don't know if this, like, awakening has happened for you yet. I feel like you're, like, on the brink of some sort of realization, but you're procrastinating on it because you want to stay in this full energy of innocence, of, of not being afraid, of kind of being fearless and ready to take on the world. But there are some things that need to be addressed, and they need to be addressed within you in order to kind of really hone in on what it is what this new beginning is, where this new beginning will bring you. Feels like you're procrastinating almost on kind of diving deep within yourself. And kind of introspecting on why it is that you want to stay almost in this kind of maybe naive energy. Let's clarify the Queen of Pentacles for your unconscious energy. For the Queen of Pentacles, you get the Ten of Wands, the Six of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles. I feel like there is something that you've spent a lot of time and energy on, something that you are seeing like the fruits of your labor from, that really stressed you out, the amount of work that you had to put in, and you are able to kind of like enjoy the fruits of those labors, but of that labor, but it almost seems like you're kind of moving away from it now, like as if the rewards weren't worth the amount of stress and anxiety and the kind of burnout that it put on you. So it feels like you're kind of reevaluating where it is that you want to invest your energy. At least unconsciously, you're thinking that. Like on the surface, you may think, oh yeah, this is fantastic. This is finally working out. But inside, you're kind of like, was it really worth it though? Is it really worth all of that stress, anxiety, sleepless nights, all of the... I don't know, was it worth it? I'm not sure. That's a question you could answer. Let's clarify the Emperor card for your past. For the Emperor, you get the Six of Cups, the Death card, the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like in the past you're very determined, very focused on growth, on becoming a more mature version of yourself, and maybe that's kind of why you're switching back in time to this kind of more idealistic version, because you had such a strict version of who you wanted to become, of who you wanted to transform into. This could have been a time of like you maybe going to school or maybe some sort of apprenticeship. Seems like there was a lot of learning done, was a very slow process, something that may have even started like a long time ago. Yeah, it feels like you put a lot of pressure on yourself to become this mature and like super, what's the word I'm looking for? Like respected individual in your community almost. I don't know if like this pressure that you put on yourself was also kind of pressure that happened in your childhood of like always needing to, like maybe you had like really strict parents who were constantly telling you right from wrong, which is a good thing, but like maybe they were a little bit too like hard on you about your grades or things of that sort, and so that kind of was reflected into your adult life. Let's clarify the Hanged Man for your future energy. Okay, for the Hanged Man, you get the Seven of Wands, the Two of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords. Huh. Okay, so it almost seems like in the future you need to take a second to think about things, think things through, to view things from a different perspective, to kind of, see two sides of things, or evaluate your life, but you're kind of resisting that and staying busy, staying in your own head, constantly thinking about the things you need to do, constantly wanting to stay busy instead of taking that time to really evaluate on the things. Like, there's so many things you need to do, but how many of those things are actually important to you? How many of those things actually matter to your core values, to who you are as a person? Let's clarify the Hierophant. Let's clarify the Hierophant for your attitude towards the situation. Okay, for the Hierophant, you get the Ten of Swords, the Four of Swords, the Star card. Yeah. It almost just seems like you're a little bit lost at the moment. Maybe like the values and beliefs that you had in the past, the pressure that you put on yourself to do so well, to get things done, to, be that person that everybody could come to, is kind of withering away, and then you're kind of like, well, who am I if I'm not that person? I feel like there is a lot of kind of healing that needs to be done to figure out, again, what truly actually matters to you. I feel like these ideas or these beliefs were something that were instilled in you as a child, and now as an adult you kind of need to reevaluate if that's who you want to be, if those are the beliefs and traditions and values that you want to carry on in your life, or if there's something that needs to be changed. I feel like there's a breather that you need to take, some time to yourself, some solitude, some rehabilitation to kind of find hope again, to kind of find yourself again. Let's clarify the Strength card. For the energy that surrounds you and you may not be aware of. Okay. For the Strength card, you get the Wheel of Fortune, the Eight of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, so it also takes a lot of strength and courage and bravery to realize and accept that not everything is in your control. People are going to walk away from you in your life. Things are going to leave you, you know, and you can't control those situations. Also, it's okay to become a new version of yourself. It's okay to evolve, and kind of emotionally disconnect from the person that you thought you were and become a different version of yourself. Change is not a bad thing. And disconnecting from people who kind of, I feel like, depended on you a lot is not a bad thing either. But it does take a lot of, inner strength in order to do that. Let's clarify the Two of Pentacles for your hopes and fears. For the Two of Pentacles, you get the Eight of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, the Ace of Swords. Okay. So, again, you've devoted so much time and energy into something. You've overcome so much, gone through so many hurdles. You've had, so many sleepless nights over this thing. And you're trying to stick with it, I feel like. You're trying to stay busy with it. And, that's what you want to do. At the same time, you're fearful of that because you're, having this realization that you're not sure if that's what you could see yourself doing for the rest of your life, if that makes sense. Again, I keep getting, this realization of thinking, is this worth it for some reason? Is all this time and energy I'm devoting to this thing really worth it? Really worth the outcome that I think this is going to bring? Let's clarify the Ten of Wands for the possible outcome. I feel like the reason the Fool is coming out here is because this something that you spent so much time on is kind of really bringing you down, and you kind of just really want to separate from it and start again. It's brand new, from scratch almost. But let's clarify the Ten of Wands. Yeah, so for the Ten of Wands, you get the Two of Swords, the Five of Swords, the Nine of Cups. Yeah. So again, you're evaluating the stress that you're under, the amount of pressure that you're under, and kind of trying to make a decision on if it's worth it. It's really causing a lot of conflict within you. I feel like you're realizing that this is not emotionally fulfilling for you. So you're kind of having to take a really, really deep look within in order to figure out how you're going to move forward, how you're going to move past this. I feel like you're almost really beating yourself up over it also. Why did I spend so much time on this if it wasn't emotionally fulfilling for me? Well, you don't know what you don't know. So maybe you didn't know it at a time. Maybe you had a lot of outside pressure telling you to go in this direction when you, deep inside, part of you knew all along that that's not what you wanted to do. But that pressure from outside and that upbringing maybe that you had was kind of just urging you, pushing you in that direction. So that's what you felt like you had to do. Interesting. Let's get a card from the Rooted Woman Oracle deck for you. What do the Rooted Woman want Cancer to know in January, please? Ellen or Aline? Ellen, Pathmaker and Guide. See that? I'm going to read a little bit from here for you. Okay. The story tells us that it was Ellen who built the so-called Roman roads which joined up, for the first time, the various remote region of the land. The story firmly states that the men of Britain would have allowed the roads to be built for no one but her, because she was native to the land's representative. Ellen, like so many other female characters in Celtic myth and story, is a representative of sovereignty, I think that's how you say it, the goddess of the land. The building of these great connecting roads is why Ellen has now come to be known as Ellen of the Ways. Ellen then can be seen as an ally on our journey, a native goddess and guide who helps us to dream into being our own unique pathway through life. Look for her in your dreams. Alright, well, I skipped the first paragraph because I'm not sure if I can read like the whole thing about copyright or whatever, I don't know. So I'm going to read it, so this makes more sense. In an old Welsh story called The Dream of Masson Wileldig, Ellen, an otherworldly princess of Britain, appears to the Roman Emperor Masson in an ailing a dream vision. She acts as a guide, captivating him with a vision of beautiful land across the waters and a beautiful woman there with whom he instantly falls in love. And so Ellen reels Masson in along the thread of her dream past, bringing him to her so that he can marry her and serve the land alongside her as its king. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know, there's something about finding your own unique pathway here that I feel like really resonates with this whole reading. Your own unique pathway, separate from what other pathways other people want you to take. But I really hope this helped you, Cancer, and that's all I have for you for the month of January. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.